Okay, hello everyone and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Bianca Reyna.
and this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking with Marina Beech, and we are talking about Akashic Records. We're hoping there'll be readings. She's got quite a profound story and background that brought her into mysticism. And just get your hands ready to be raised because I think this is going to be a dynamic conversation.
Yeah, that's right. So Jenna, tell us a little bit about what you've got going on and what you have any morning brew with Woo?
A little morning brew with Woo because tomorrow we are going back on our dragon voyages.
Yeah.
And you all are invited. I'm pulling up the title of what this is called right now. Tomorrow's hypnosis dragon voyage is called Embodied Fire,
Ooh.
awakening the dragon to remove the incoherence within your cells. This topic came up after I heard about a Joe Dispenza study
Mhm.
where he was working with people that were advanced meditators.
Okay.
And he found that if they drew their blood and they tested their blood
this makes
and
sense.
contaminated it with a virus, that some of the advanced meditators had no interference. Like the virus couldn't even go in the cell.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just wild stuff. And then
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, well, I want all the pieces of that in my body for immunity, for greater heart coherence, and really just to come into that greater essence of what we truly are as a fifth dimensional, multidimensional being.
I love it.
So that's what tomorrow's is all about. You can join by doing a trial on Growth Day if you aren't already a Growth Day member. And information for that is in the newsletter. You can also get information because that is a part of our Mystique Society. And you can also get information about that at houtehustle.com/join.
Yeah.
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I've got a little bit of mystic space weather news.
Very nice.
Yay. So for today's Mystic Space Weather News, a co-rotating interaction region is expected to hit Earth on September 6th, potentially sparking a G1 class geomagnetic storm. The CIR is in the transition zones between fast and slow streams of solar wind. They're a bit like mini CMEs, like coronal mass ejections, containing shock waves and strong magnetic fields, and they can ignite high latitude auroras.
Wow.
So we've been seeing those come through
Neat.
in the last couple of weeks, but it's also going to get a little bit, I mean, the last couple of days, but it's going to get a little bit quieter. So we just got hit with one on September 1st, and then that was kind of larger. You saw some of those auroras in the lower states, and now it's a little bit quieter, and then we're going to have that happen. And then for our moon report, we are going.
Moon. I was watching it last night. It's so big and bright.
Yeah, you said you were in your spa.
I was like laying back in the water and just admiring the moon.
Yeah, and it was like so super big and bright in the sky. Well, cool. I think it's because September's full moon is known as the harvest moon, named for its bright early evening light that historically aided farmers in harvesting their crops.
Right.
That's right. And the upcoming lunar eclipse, so this full moon on September 7th through the 8th, so it'll be over the weekend, will be a total lunar eclipse, also called a blood moon, and that will be the harvest moon for 2025.
Very nice.
So definitely pull out your crystals and have them charged. And also
take them out after the show.
That's right. Make any intuitive kind of, I call it personal investments, right? So you always talk about like what you personally invest your energy into. And I always call that like my intuitive investment. So where I want to be dedicating my time to, and to the people, to the experiences, to, whether I want to be doom scrolling or I want to be working on the business, make your choices and do that accordingly and really set that with intention. So that's what you can do with your crystals and your moon.
Love it.
And that's what I got for Mystic
Space Weather News. All right, let's bring Marina up. Just one acknowledgement. Those of you that really immersed with us in the summit, I'm wondering if you felt just a little bit like, whoa, what just happened to me? Because I know that the energies after just an intense week like that can really like take you like totally upside down.
Yep.
So I just want to acknowledge that you may be feeling like you need more rest. You may be even feeling some like, wow, I feel like I just did all this, but I kind of am not, feeling like I'm better, but I'm worse. That often can happen when your frequency changes, and that's really happening through all of you. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, and maybe Marina has some thoughts about that too.
Yeah, we both, Judith and I both experienced that.
A little
Had
bit,
like
yeah.
the rug pulled out from underneath us and couldn't really sleep yet. We were tired, but definitely. And then having that like, oh, like an itchy kind of,
Yeah,
like for me it was
like
itchy.
restless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finally
Like,
felt
what am
better
I supposed
today.
to do with myself?
Well, before we bring Marina on, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Marina and let y'all know where she comes to us from. So Marina Beech is the secret weapon for New Earth leaders and entrepreneurs, helping them remove karmic energy beliefs that hold them back from achieving their most audacious goals. She also is known as the Soul Alchemist, spiritual intuitive and teacher with over 30 years of experience and 3,000 hours of clients. She reveals the karmic patterns limiting their success, creating breakthroughs in energy, spirit, and mindset. Hi, Marina. Welcome.
Hi, Marina.
Hello, ladies. It's lovely to be here all the way from the UK. So it's evening. It's kind of what we call tea time. Although we're not drinking tea, it's
we
like
could pretend.
well, we could pretend, but yeah. So it's kind of 5. It's 10 past 5 here. So yeah, all good. But yeah, it's lovely to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. When we had our pre-call together, you have quite an interesting background, and I wanted you to just take us into how you get started in this work. I also want to talk about your Akashic Record AI little bit later, so I'll just seed that right now, and like just take us, and then I'd like to take some callers and just let them experience your work.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am from corporate. So that is my background. I have been very much in retail, but I always had a spiritual interest in, the unexplained ghosts, all of that type of stuff. So I was always open. But very much kind of followed my corporate career, built a really beautiful career in corporate, but a very creative one. So that was cool. But I still did kind of keep my hand in with like tarot cards, and I did have a pendulum also. So I did a little bit of pendulum work. But that was kind of very much in the background. And then I went through a series of redundancies from my career, which I'd kind of really built myself up. I was traveling all over the world doing what I was doing. And so it was a bit of a shock. And so I then went through this process of trying to actually understand what it was I was here to do, and step away from the identity that I'd actually created in corporate and where I'd kind of placed my success and all of this type of stuff. So I ended up kind of exploring angels, which was really bizarre because I'm not christened, I'm not baptized. There's no kind of religion that I assigned to. And my parents purposely, very open-minded actually, didn't assign any religion to me because they wanted it to be my choice. So that was quite cool. But I found a spiritual mentor. She was also a business spiritual mentor as well. But I went on this journey with angels, and I started to just really unpick some of the stuff that was there that I hadn't really kind of taken any notice of because I've been very much focused on building a career and doing all of the things that we normally do as a partner, a wife, then started to have children quite late on because my career was my main focus. And then I eventually found the Akashic Records. So that was that was probably about 18 months into this kind of like discovery journey. And then the Akashic, well, actually, I wasn't finding the Akashic Records. Eventually, the universe had to step in and slap me around the face with the Akashic Records are here. This is where you need to be. So I discovered those whilst watching a Facebook Live in my mentors group on Facebook. And the lady that showed up to do this Akashic record, I'd never heard of them. She showed up to kind of do a little bit of a clearing, and I thought, well, I'll tune in because maybe she can give me my life purpose. I'm still very much at this kind of like, I'll give my power away, and I'll have somebody tell me what, you know, what I need to do. And she revealed I'd actually got a master program of alcoholism in my Akashic Records, and I hadn't revealed to anybody that I'd got a psychological addiction to alcohol. And so she cleared that in about 10 seconds with a pendulum with my record.
Wow.
Yeah, and the switch went off. I actually could feel the switch, the mental battle of the conversations that I was kind of having all of the time that I kept to myself because there was so much shame. Didn't have the support, you know, because I'm an overachiever. I can do all the things, very independent woman, you know. So it's kind of like, well, I'm not going to reveal this thing that I can't handle to anybody. Right. So she switched it off, and I'm like, what the bloody hell are these things? These Akashic Records. I need to go and find out. So that was in 2017. My introduction. It was June the 23rd. I've been 8.5 years sober, not had a drink, not wanted a drink since that time. And I heavily stepped into learning about what the Akashic Records were. And by December of that year, of 2017, I was doing paid readings while still working. But that was my transition into then starting to set up a spiritual business.
Wow.
Fascinating. I too am a teetotaler for the last 5 years. And so when I had that awakening, I mean, I wish I would have done it like the way you did. Mine was a little bit more of a like a daily battle, but hour by hour. But what I did find was having a spiritual awakening really shifted everything to where that craving no longer existed. Can you tell us a little bit about how I know you said you felt it shift. What did you learn about that experience, about the Akashic Records that allowed you to have that shift so openly? I think part of maybe your soul might have been already asking for this shift, but maybe for other people that are not familiar with the Akashic Records, if you could let us know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, at that point, I knew absolutely nothing about the records. So for me, that feels even more humbling and honest and an integrity to the fact that, you know, I couldn't make this thing up because I experienced this intently kind of wanting to find out my soul's purpose and mission, which incidentally I did, but it was not in the way that I thought it was going to be. But the actual physical shift for me was just this it was a Friday afternoon, and what we would normally do is I would go home, and me and my husband and toddler at the time, we would then go and sit in the beer garden or whatever and have a drink. And so that was the normal routine. And then I got home and, you know, are we going to the pub? And I'm like, well, we can, but I'm not going to drink. And that part of me was really proud about the fact that I could actually state that out loud. But there was also a part of me that was very scared, because what you don't realize in that moment is like, this is going to change everything in terms of relationships. And, you know, some of our relationship was very much built on the fact that, and especially in the UK, we go to the pub, you know, it's what we do. It's part of our culture. So what does that mean? What am I up for losing here? How can this relationship change or stay the same or actually evolve and grow without having that massive part that we've built our relationship around? And it's been fine, you know, but it did take there was a lot of relationship shifts with friends, not so much family, and obviously my other half. But those people that didn't need to stick around, obviously, were not going to stick around. But most of my friends have, and it's absolutely fine. But drinking was an integral part of my identity as well.
Yeah.
So that
Wow.
was so scary, actually. And that's what it helped me to do, is actually discover who I was without a drink.
This
And go
makes me,
to
yeah.
parts where I was numbing, where I was avoiding. I didn't want to go there. And it also allowed me to remember things that I'd completely blocked out from
Mm.
my teenage years, from my childhood. Obviously, for safety reasons, I wasn't ready to actually look at that stuff. But without the drink there, it's allowed me to go on this journey, which is really cool.
Yeah. The truth is, though, it doesn't even have to be about addiction or alcohol. Like, we do things to avoid reality in so many different ways these days. We do it through scrolling, endless scrolling. We do it through food. We do it through constant like workaholicism, shopaholicism. It
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be isms. It just is like you do that just to avoid really truly being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what is beautiful actually with some of my clients, what I've noticed, some of the younger clients that I do have the privilege of working with, their consciousness and their awareness is so much more on point, that they're able to actually do some of this work at a much younger age. And that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Yeah. I feel like more star seeds are coming in now to help with this ascension.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, they're seekers.
My youngest son is
Listen.
definitely starseed.
Oh, how
Yeah.
cute. You have gone all over the place with the Akashic Records. I mean, some people will bring on the show and there's just like these surface level messages. When I look at your Oracle decks and your AI Delphia, I'm just like, she's like gone deep, deep, deep.
I would too if I had that experience straight away.
Do you feel like that's one of the key, like, is that one of the talents and gifts that you have, is to actually switch people? Like turn off, turn on?
Do your clients have the experience that you have when working with you?
No, not all of them. I mean, I think some of my profound shift needed to happen for my ego to believe it.
Mhm.
So I think there's an element of that. And because I'd just started to work with angels and I'd done like a little bit of angelic Reiki as my first energy kind of jaunt, as it were, or kind of experience, and that wasn't really doing it for me. So it was almost like, for me, the universe is like, bloody hell, she's just not getting it. Let's just like really
smack her in the head.
Yeah, so she can get on and do with what it is that she's here to do. But that said, I have had a few clients that have had incredible shifts, and even that I wasn't even aware of until they kind of came in and told me a few months later.
Yeah.
That this is what had actually happened for them. So, phobias being released, that are 20 years like ingrained into their psyche and into their habitual behaviors have been released, which is incredible, because those types of things just make huge impact on their personal life, but also on their relationships as well. And then there's another lady that had a really incredible shift that took her from experiencing losing her business. She went bankrupt, she lost her home, and we did a little bit of work together, and now she's got a thriving 6-figure business. Like, she's one of the uprising kind of like new earth leaders. So there is some really profound, potent examples, but I would say the majority are kind of just keeping us on our ascension journey and taking us to that next level, taking us to that step. I think it's also to do with the fact that how the person can energetically, what they're available for from an energetic bandwidth in terms of shift. And most of us are just incremental types of creatures and beings, because too much of a shift like that could be just too much to embody.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's to do with that as well.
Yeah. Well, I would want some of the audience to experience some of your work. So I know that we could probably do a group activation around this. We could experience it. We could just have the audience raise their hands. What would be ideal for you?
Well, I did bring my cards. So if anybody
Great.
did want a card, what we could do is look at what is most needed for next steps of success, because that was the kind of the title
I love it.
of the show. So what are you needing for next steps of success? So it could be a little bit of a healing transmission, which if I
Okay.
feel it, I could get my pendulum, do a quick healing. That's fine.
Okay.
Or it might be words of wisdom. It could be an action step or something like that. So I'm happy to use my oracle cards. These oracle cards are healing within themselves. So whatever is actually given and the words that I'm channeling through are going to be coded with healing activation as well. So yeah, that's
So
how it works.
I was playing on your Instagram page and I clicked on one of the cards. I was just like, just at random, I was like, which card do I need? Leonka's going to laugh hysterically when I say this, but the card that came up was money fears.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
like you had alcohol addiction. I've gone on a deep journey studying money, really studying the frequency money, working on being the frequency of money.
Yeah,
And
cool.
yet that card was still the one that I just happened to click on your Instagram page. And I'm like, that's not true. But it makes me think that my Akashic field, like your Akashic field, had the alcoholism. I wonder if that's so deep in my Akashic field that it's preventing me from success.
Potentially, but I think with all cards, and this is why I love oracle cards so much, is that there is multiple ways of reading that card.
Okay.
So when you're talking and you have gone really deep with the energy of money, for me, it wouldn't be a money fear that message is coming through with that card. This is an acknowledgement that you have been transforming your money fears. And with that particular card, if I get it actually out, you'll be able to see the way that I read this card as well, which is this one, is that I am so confident and comfortable with money that I could take a handful of bills and I could light them up and I'm not going to flinch because I am so trusting that the energy of money is going to come to me.
Wow.
That's how I would read that for you.
Wow.
Good.
Well, good. I think then maybe I've had a shift this year.
Yes. So for me, I would say that was an acknowledgement card. And that's how we've got to really tune into what is this message actually telling me. And it's interesting that you went straight to fear because, so for me, there is an element of still fear and frustration because you assumed that was telling you there was a money fear. And oracle cards, you've always, there's obviously the basic message there, but look beyond that. And it's like, what is this card actually telling me? And that's always how I teach people to read my cards.
Love it.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, that's not my card.
Yes, I've got to put it back.
I was like, how is that possible? That's so
Exactly.
funny.
So
Love
no,
that so
it was
much.
an acknowledgement. This is like you guys are celebrating, the energy of money is celebrating, and it's like, God,
fun.
you're doing it.
Very nice. I love that.
High
I'm doing that. All right. Casey is up. Do you just need her to start with a question? Is there a way for her to just...
What would be really nice, actually, as we're all here, what I'd like to do is just collectively open up your records.
Okay,
and now
great.
I normally do it with your specific details if I was working with you individually, but as we're working as a group then, and you're all here, and if you say yes, then you're giving me permission to access the records. But what would be really nice is just to settle into the space. So
Okay.
I'd invite you to just close your eyes if that feels comfortable and place the backs of the hands, the back of your hands on the tops of the thighs. So you're in a very open and receiving position. And when you're ready, I want you to take a big deep breath in. And as you take that big deep breath in, we're going to call back all of your energy. from across time and space, people and events. And just imagine breathing your beautiful golden soul light deep into your chest, into the heart chakra. And on the out breath, I want you to just relax and just release any non-beneficial energy, anything not supporting you, not serving you, releasing it on the out breath. And as we release this energy, it goes back to divine source light to be transformed, transmuted elsewhere. And then again, take another big deep breath in, calling back all of your energy from across time and space, people and events. Breathing that golden soul light deep into the chest. And on the out breath, again, releasing any fears, anything that is limiting your growth, your success, your evolution. Releasing it on the out breath, anything that's not serving you, back to the light. And then one more time, take a big deep breath in. Calling back all of your energy from across time and space, people and events. Breathing that soul light deep into the chest. And on the out breath, I want you to start to bring your awareness down towards your feet. And as you bring that awareness down, you'll notice, sense, feel, or imagine thick, strong silver roots coming from the soles of your feet. And these silver roots know exactly where they need to go. They're making their way now down into the earth, down into the planet, towards the heart of Gaia. And those silver roots go deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. And eventually they find a large crystal at the middle of the earth. And you'll notice that this crystal is glistening, sparkling. Just sense, feel, know, or imagine what kind of crystal it is. And you may not know the name, but the color. And just know that this is exactly what you need to bring your awareness into this space, but also to support you feeling grounded whilst we connect with the records. Wrap your silver roots around that crystal. And as you wrap your silver roots, your heart expands. You connect with the heart of Mother Earth, and there is a wave of unconditional love that moves into the heart. And just allow your heart chakra to open just a little bit more. It may feel uncomfortable, but know that you are worthy of this love, worthy of her support, worthy of her compassion, groundedness, and presence. We're going to call in your team in spirit, beings of 100% pure love and light only, now to step into the space. And these will be beings of all kinds, ancestors, family members, perhaps your guardian angel, the galactic beings, councils of light, elemental energies, the angels, our star brothers and sisters, all are welcome. Goddesses, ascended masters, all are welcome. And then we call in 6 archangels to hold you in angelic white light before we connect you with your records. Archangel Michael now steps in behind you. Archangel Gabriel to your left. We invite Archangel Raphael into the right. Archangel Uriel takes a space in front of you. And these 4 archangels now connect with their wings around you. Archangel Sandalphon, please bring up the crystalline grid of the earth. Below our feet, a fiery white silvery grid of light. Imagine stepping onto that grid and fully connecting in with the ley lines of the earth. All of the beautiful portals that take us down into Telos and the Lemurian energies. And then we bring in Archangel Metatron above our heads with the Christ conscious grid of light, a golden grid of light above your head, bringing it down so you can connect a golden pillar of light, a thread of light now coming from that grid and connecting in through the etheric chakras and into the crown. These 6 archangels now hold you in angelic white light. You are held above and below, fully present, fully grounded. And now I want you to focus on your third eye, the point between your eyebrows, and start to notice a purple portal of light that's starting to get bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. And it gets so big, you step through the purple portal of light. And you start to walk towards a large door, down a corridor. And as you walk towards this door, you'll notice that your own clair gifts, your senses, are becoming more heightened, perhaps hearing the footsteps, feeling your feet on the floor, maybe visualizing what the corridor looks like, and maybe noticing the smell of old books as you get closer to the door. When you get to the door, I want you to notice, sense, feel, or imagine that your details are on the door. This is your full name, your date of birth and place of birth. Once you know those details are there, I want you to open up the door to your Akashic Records. And I want you to see, imagine, sense, or know that there is a doorstop, something that will hold the door open. And I want you to place that and allow the door to be left open so that any wisdom, insights, guidance, or healing that needs to come through the cards, I'm going to be able to connect to that and activate whatever is going to be for your highest good, health, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Once you feel satisfied that that door is open and it's with your permission, it is with your grace, you can start to head back towards the purple portal of light. And when it feels appropriate, you can open your eyes, or you can keep them closed. That's perfect. And we are now all connected. We're safely held, and we have our guides and team here.
Yeah. Wow. Ooh, space.
And that's without any healing activated.
I know. Woo. God, I got a lot from that. One of the things that one of my early teachers, when I was starting to heal, she's like, when you start seeing purple ribbons of light, and you were saying that, and I was like, gosh, I'm imagining that, but I'm also seeing that. And it was just like such a cool, like, wow, here's a purple portal.
That's amazing, because I'm not visual at all. I can't see. I'm good at describing, but I can't really see a thing. So
that's so cool.
I know. So I have to just rely on my knowing. That's about it.
Okay.
Dana says, beautiful and lots of emotion when I opened my door with lots of visuals.
Yeah,
it was gorgeous.
It is like often when we step into the records, you know, some people really feel it. And you know, I kind of do, but I'm just like, I'm quite pragmatic and practical. But
wait, well, I can't really tell. I mean, in a real way, right? Because it's sort of like, wow, I really feel like I'm in the spaciousness. And I'd also say that I'm kind of a type A person.
Yeah.
But maybe not anymore.
Yeah, but some people really feel, and I do say it, it just feels so true to my heart, and my heart expands when I say, is that it's stepping into your soul's home. So it feels comfortable, it feels safe. So it's like, it's a beautiful space to hang out in, but it's also a beautiful place to go and actually do work in, you know? Because what creates the impact.
Interesting. Some of the comments on the line is, I had a lot of fear to open the door, but once I did, it felt like a lot of calm.
Right. So hopefully you've overcome that fear then. But also interesting that you had that fear or anticipation about what was behind the door.
It's like, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but then that also can connect to, so what I'm pulling through there is that, past life persecution, we know
Okay.
the thing around the witch wounds and things like that. It's kind of like, well, I don't want to go there because what if I get killed,
Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay.
somebody that I love, I have to give up and they get killed. So
I'm
there's
like, oh
probably a little
man,
bit of
Jeez.
not again.
yeah.
I know, but it really does come up sometimes that way. Like, and
Yeah.
consciously we will deny ourselves these gifts and these experiences unconsciously because of these. I mean, I'm making a joke about it now, but it was like that for me too when I first uncovered my own witch wound, right?
Yeah.
Even having the claustrophobia, like I had really bad claustrophobia that I didn't really talk about. I just had it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
not that I need to be in a tanning booth, but if I was to be in one, I couldn't ever close the thing or,
Mhm.
like just in small spaces or anything like that. And that was from a past life experience and a witch wound as well. So
Wow,
Mhm.
that's
So
incredible.
did you can you change that, shift that, remove that? Have you?
yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting what we can do with phobias and like trauma.
Yeah.
That's
And
caused
things that we almost think is our identity, like I am this way
absolutely.
kind of thing.
Yes,
Kind of
yes, yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Great. Well, I'm going to take so we take our inner circle members first. So Tiffany, you're up first. Ask your
Tiffany, so do you have a
Hi,
question that you want me to look at, or what do you want to
I
do?
I do have a question. My original question, I was wondering what my contract with my best friend was because in the 3D world, I do not know how to support her. I feel like I've already lost her to cancer.
Mm.
So, if you could give me insight to even how to navigate this friendship. She's
So
just so
are you
lost in
still
her
quite close with her? Are you still supporting her, or is this kind of just bringing up a lot of emotion in you because
Yeah, I'm
you've
kind of
been
like her only support, but I'm at a loss of I don't have the words to say. I can't tell her to stop chemo or not. And I just really feel like I've already lost her to death. So
okay?
I was curious of like, if I knew the reason I was here with her, maybe I could pull on that support spiritually.
Okay, sure. Well, sorry, first of all, to hear about your friends.
Thank
I
you.
mean, that's a massive thing to go through, and what a blessing that you are there to support her. So clearly that's a soul contracted thing that you've come in to support her with whatever growth and evolution she's getting through having cancer. You have played a massive support role as part of that. Obviously, this whole experience is going to bring up a lot for you as well. So this sense of helplessness, not knowing what to say, what to do, is going to bring up this sense of inadequacy, perhaps, not wanting to kind of say the wrong thing. And for me, this is about some of this, and I haven't pulled a card, but this is just what I'm tuning into. Some of this is about you trusting that everything that you have and everything that you do say or facilitate as an action or a support is going to be enough, because it's an energetic thing. You're there with your heart, asking her what she needs, or holding her space, or just listening, or just holding her fear. That in itself is enough. But you will be playing roles for each other here as well. If we look at it from a soul level and not a human level, you are here to play roles with each other to facilitate growth and learning and expansion. And sometimes, we know that the way that we do this is not in a very pleasant way. Okay, so let's ask the question in terms of what else can we glean from this particular friendship that's going to help Tiffany to come to terms and potentially be able to feel like she's supporting her friend even more so. Okay, so this situation is coming back to authenticity. So this is about authentic friendship. without perhaps the things that we feel that what friendships should look like and what they should be. Through this particular experience of her having cancer, the authenticity of her being at her most vulnerable, you also feeling very vulnerable and being able to try and hold that and navigate that. It's bringing the authentic parts of both of you, those authentic soul pieces, the authentic friendship. That's what's really coming into play here. So you just don't worry about putting any masks, worrying about if you're doing the right thing, saying the right thing. Just be authentic with her, because that is you in your alignment. That's going to be the most supportive thing for her. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we've always had a deeper connection, like on a soul level, but going through this, I mean, you want to talk about deepest, darkest truths, you know, in conversations. So absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what you're really, this friendship is really facilitating authenticity in each other and authentic truth, as you say, and that authentic truth is going to be different for both of you. But there's a coming together of that, is the acceptance of each other's truth, which may differ to you know from each other, but being able to accept and be, you know, celebrate each other's authenticity and the truth that's there. So this is what it's taking away all the masks. It's taking away all that layer of programming and conditioning. This is what this friendship's all about. It's an authentic, beautiful connection. So really cherish it.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Lots
you.
of blessings to you and your friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Marina, can we take just a couple more?
Yeah.
All right, Dana, you're up.
Dana.
Hi, Marina.
Hi,
everybody.
Dana.
Hi. So, the day before yesterday, a juvenile hawk was hanging out on my fence for like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And then just this morning, he was right across from me on a roof. And I was videoing him, and he made eye contact with me for several seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a feather in my front yard, a big one. And I thought it was an owl feather, but now I know it's a hawk feather. So I would like to know, and I've been having for months now, very vivid, like I call it lucid time, because it's like between 3 and 5 in the morning. And it's simulations of like healing old timelines and tests of some sort, and testing also. And I'm just wondering if you can expand on that for me.
So expand on the hawk or
Well, they kind of go together, I feel like. Whichever comes up for you, it would be great.
Yeah. When you were talking to me, it sounds like that the hawk is obviously, well, it's not obviously. The hawk to me just feels like it's an ally that stepped in. So I don't know if that's like a particular. See, I'm not really big on knowing the definitions of spirit animals, but I know the hawk is, I would imagine, higher perspective and vision, and being able to,
I was connecting it to vision
higher
because of the vivid simulations I'm having in the morning.
Well, that sounds to me like you're moving and shifting timelines, and you are facilitating whatever you need to facilitate in order to be on the timeline, perhaps that's being initiated by the hawk, which is the higher perspective.
It's bleeding into my wake time though too. It's like not stopping when I'm awake, and then it goes even deeper when I'm in the shower and water.
Okay, so you're not breaking the actual.
No, it's just continuing, and it's just, and so I just want to have more clarity on it.
Okay. And how long's that been going on for?
For like at least 3 months, and it's just been getting more and more vivid.
Yeah.
I was told I had up to 25 in a night, and that I'm healing, like they said it was flooding in, so I can heal like at a very fast pace to get to where I'm.
Yeah. Sounds to me like your reality, what we perceive as our reality, is kind of stretching a little bit, and it's kind of collapsing. If you're bringing your dream time into the real, it's a little bit like the Matrix. So that's really interesting.
It is.
I would say that there's a lot of there's quantum stuff going on here then for you. So are you concerned about being in that assimilation and not coming back into your present 3D
I don't have any fear
grounding?
around it. I'm just excited, and it makes me just more curious and interested.
Okay.
And I just really, if I could have more clarity or anything really that you can offer, I would be appreciative. Because I know that doesn't happen often. So it's not like I can just talk to anybody about it kind of thing.
Absolutely. So so when you are in your dream time or when you're in the wake time, but it still is an assimilation of sorts, are you doing any actual practical magical healing work? Or are you just going through the process of just like what
Some of it has been healing. Yeah, I had a really deep healing with the Lemurian Atlantis times when it first started. And I actually made very deep contact with my inner child, and then a little bit later with my shadow. So, and then I've had conscious connection with them both also.
Okay, so I feel for me, there is definitely huge gifts and ways of doing things like that are coming through for you that are very much, it's like you've got this open resource to other astral planes or kind of realities, timelines, and it has become so merged that it's almost like you've got a foot in one reality, what a foot in one and the other, and they are merging, and they've kind of
That's
become
what it
one.
feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to say to you from a like a service level, because this is exciting, as you say, is how can I start to actually have some kind of framework or grounded part of this actual process? Because some of it you're still trying to figure out and make sense of, I suppose, which is why you've asked this question. What I want to say to you is start to facilitate some kind of framework of what it feels like, what you can actually do while you're in this state. And is there a way that this can then be taken to other people that can then facilitate their ascension process, their healing, unlocking their gifts, activating ancient codes, all of this type of stuff? You are being given access to this space because obviously it's kind of, you're kind of aligning and doing bits and pieces for yourself, but for me this feels like you've got to take it then to somewhere else. And the reason I'm saying this is we've got divine strategy, so there is this formulation of getting clear what is actually going on here, or some kind of like idea around that, whether you need to just write it down. And then what are the ideas, what is the inspiration coming through with, well, how can I harness the magic that I've got access to here, and how can I not only use it for myself, but also take it out to my clients or to family members to kind of give it a go. Now, whether you do that through tarot readings, whether you're doing it through the pendulum, whether you're doing it with hands-on healing or doing astrology or whatever, there is a new stream of consciousness that's coming through for you, and a new wave of healing that's coming through on your timeline. And this, like you talked about Lemuria, you talked about Atlantis, you've opened up things here from there where you have already had that gift. You've had those gifts and you're now bringing them through. You're in the process of embodying them. So part of that embodiment is to actually get some of this stuff on paper, work out what your framework is or the process or whatever it might be. And then, do I want to actually then try this out on a few people and see what actually comes on the back of it? But at the moment, I think you're still in the embodiment stage and this kind of like receiving.
My embodiment stage started on April 17th, and so I'm still integrating.
Yeah, so don't, obviously you're not scared, you're excited by this, but I think what we've got here is gifts coming from Atlantis, Lemuria, whatever gifts that you had in those particular lifetimes, you've turned them on, you've got access, you're remembering them, and now it's like, oh my God, it's almost like we've got this big laser beam and we're trying to hold it, and it's like, what the hell am I doing with this laser beam? Where do I go? What do I do with it? So it's kind of like, okay, I need to refine it and I want to shape it. And I'm going to put some of it over here and I'm going to put some of it here. And then I'm going to just take a little piece out here and I'm going to sprinkle it into my healing. So it's really being able to work out what you do with that energy, you know? But it's exciting. But I think once you start to refine that, you will get more information about what you're supposed to do with it, what it facilitates, what it unlocks. And this is why the divine strategy card has come up. It's like, yeah, you're kind of refining, you're getting used to it, but there is bigger purpose with that gift. Or that
and
stream
here
of
talking
consciousness.
to you, this has never happened before, but my throat is literally vibrating. Like,
Well, there you go. It's truth.
Yeah.
I know I'll be channeling. I just the other day, for the first time, the Pleiadians came through, and the Alcyone, they said, and so I had 2 transmissions come through. So I feel like they told me I'll be working with them, so I feel like it'll be all connected to channeling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense, because there'll be a lot of coding that will come through your words, and if you're using light language and like signing and stuff like that. So you are just, your body, it's almost like your body is learning to be able to harness and hold that energy. But I want you to now start to also think beyond that, and how are you going to refine that, and how are you going to actually deliver that? So if it's through your voice, perfect. Start to maybe record some of your transmissions and channel, so that you can go back and listen to them and just notice what is going on in your body when you are listening back.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Great advice too.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
It's funny because it wasn't until I could listen to my own work and then receive my own work that I really started to go, wow.
I know, it's incredible, because you don't, and then it's like sometimes I'll go back and listen to some of my meditation, I'm like, bloody hell, that's not half bad, you know?
Yeah, right. I love it.
Sometimes when I go back to the show, I'm like, you talk too much.
Oh,
but
no.
when I listen to an actual hypnotherapy session, I'm like, whoa, it just blew me away again. It's so funny. All right, let's take, it's funny. I really would love to have another conversation about that divine strategy for all of us, because I feel like these veils are being lifted so dynamically that it's like, we were so taught to just focus on our 5 senses, and now all these veils are going. And I think now is the time to go so deeper into more divine strategy for more people. Absolutely. For sure.
And it's interesting you talk about veils, because one of my recent masterclasses that I hosted was the 7 veils of illusion, looking through the Akashic Records. So and it's incredible. It's incredible these veils are thinning, but it's very much a new part of my work that I look at as well.
Wow, that's amazing. Want to make sure that we get time to take I also have a question on the chat, but Casey, if you want to unmute. Thank you for being patient, Casey.
Hi.
I would like to, and thank you for this opportunity and for the sharing. I would like to have more clarity around the work that I am doing in this city. And so the work that I do, going from city to city in general, I have my own knowings and I have my own inner guidance, but I would like to have more information.
Are you happy with what you do?
Yeah, it's not about being, for me, it's not about whether I'm happy with it or not. It's about just wanting to know more about it. And, if we're going to do this, let's do this, but I need to know more. I need more information.
So we've got a lack of trust. A lack of trust in yourself, lacking trust of, I'm not even going to say the universe, because we are the universe. It's the lack of trust of self. If you love the work and you want to dive in, then make it happen. That's my kind of thing, Don't wait for the nudge. Don't wait for everything to be planned out before your ego says, okay, it's now safe. Because that's what's going on here, is like your ego's not giving you enough assurance to take that leap of faith and just follow the heart, which is fine because we're all there. We all do it. We all do it. Okay. So this card has got a couple of messages. So it's soul contract. So on a very conscious human 3D level, this card is saying there's contracts there. So if you're wondering about whether you're going to say yes to whatever it is or go deeper or move up a level or whatever it is, the contracts are there. So you can create that contract. You can create that soul aligned contract to make this work. But it is that leap of faith, it's trusting. But if this is an acknowledgement card to say trust, this card would be the card to say trust, because we've got the word contract in there. What you also get here, because this card, this picture, this image is off planet. So what that means is we're in the stratosphere, we're in the galaxies. This is expansive, this is out with the stars. So, you know, take your energy, take your dream, take your vision don't limit it, take it beyond what you feel that you can actually achieve. Because again, this card is saying you can go so much bigger. You can go wherever you want to. Just allow yourself to believe and have that trust, take that leap of faith. So there's a huge opportunity for expansion for you here. So if it's in the city or several cities, this card again is saying you've got the energy, you've got the bandwidth to expand because you're doing it in this card. You've also got this kind of like mirror, and this can be this kind of, it could be somebody else, but what I feel for you is like this to-ing and fro-ing between you within yourself. Should I do this? Should I not do this? And you can see that the red one, if you were looking at color, seems a little bit more dominant than the blue one. And so there is looking at where are you allowing maybe limiting beliefs or fears to kind of take over. And this card is asking for you to drop back into the heart space and connect back in with the love and the excitement of the opportunity, or what it can bring for you, short term, mid-term, long term, and tap back into that. Now, if it feels heavy, it feels constricted, then it's not soul aligned. And it might be that your mind is just saying this looks really good on paper, but your heart's not in it. But if your heart's in it, then it's going to work out. It's going to work out because you will make it work out, you know. But this is an expansive card. This has got the word contract on there. So is that answering your question? Is that giving you a little bit more hope? Have you got something more that you want to add?
It isn't like a job. It's actually energetic work that I do in each city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so transmuting energies in the cities, and so
you kind
far,
of like, right.
Yeah, so far each city has its own thing, and the work has been different.
Okay.
And so this one here feels maybe ley line related.
Okay. If it's lighting you up, then yeah, absolutely go for it. You know, I don't need to pull a card to give you that advice, that guidance, you know, from your guides. It's like go with where your soul is like lit up, because it's always going to work out. It's always going to be abundant. It's always going to be prosperous in whatever that looks like for you. From that perspective, then again, we've got the word soul contracts on here, and that would indicate that this is a contracted, purpose-led focus at the moment. Doesn't have to be the whole lifetime that you have in this lifetime, that is your sole purpose, but there's definitely a contract here then that is tying you to that work. Yeah, but I would say only if it feels good for you.
Right. Yeah. I think it was more about receiving the confirmation, because I'm up in the middle of the night, I'm doing the work and I'm doing the energetic work and I'm getting my inner knowing, and I have strong inner knowings too. and my own guidance, I guess it's getting that confirmation of the work that I'm doing.
Are you seeing or feeling results from the work you're doing?
Yes, and so to your point of that self-doubt,
Yeah, so
getting
there
back,
you go.
working on that.
If you've got actual physical results, then you don't need me to pull a card. You just got to start trusting, trust yourself, and it's practice and it's repetition. And the only way that we become more confident, we have greater self-belief, is firstly evidence, but also doing it over and over and over again. And then
Right.
we just know, like you say, you've got a strong sense of knowing. So this card is saying, get on with it. Soul contracts, do it.
I love that so much.
Thank
It's
you.
a fun card.
I think it's important to also bring up the word practice again. I mean, I feel like that was all through some of our conversations last week. You know, this really is a practice and expansion. And I think people are just like, I meditated and it didn't work. And I wasn't, you know, it was in my head and I had thoughts and I keep trying and, you know, and then they give up instead of actually going, wait, maybe that is a part of the practice. So,
Absolutely. And it's just having that. That's where you need to tap back into your why, and that why
There you go.
and keeps you going. But you will get to a tipping point, because with me, with the alcohol thing, I had actively for the 18 months before reduced my intake and had become much more conscious. And this is where the guilt and the shame, when I kind of fell off the wagon, came in. But I had been doing some work, and so the Akashic record clearing, it was a miracle, absolutely. But it was the tipping point, because I'd actually kind of created and physically embodied really wanting that change. And so that was the final piece, the jig piece. Yeah.
Yeah, you chose it on deep level.
Absolutely.
You were ready for the switch.
Yeah,
Yes.
I could feel that whenever you were talking about it.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what I was picking up on that too.
Yeah.
One of the questions that we had on the chat, and I know we're kind of coming up against time, but I thought it was a pretty good question. It was back when we were talking about money. And Katie Widman says, Katie, thanks for writing in the question. I mean, you call your whole name out, but speaking of money, what happens when AI replaces 99% of human jobs in 5 years, give or take? So this person
I don't believe it will. But
no,
yeah,
I don't either.
Exactly.
I don't sense
no,
that.
there's still a fundamental part of our human beingness is to have connection to humans. And no matter if we are surrounded by robots, even more so, we are going to really then crave human connection and talking through problems. I mean, I use AI a lot, but I still crave connection. And I actually host more in-person workshops and things like that now off the back of that. So I just don't believe that will be the case, because I just don't think we will allow it, even though I do use AI a lot.
Yeah. And I do want to talk about your AI system, but let's talk about your special offer first.
Oh, yeah, the special offer.
Let's go ahead and bring that up, and then we can talk just a nugget about AI and the Akash, which is pretty freaking cool too. Can you take a minute to tell us what they'll experience with this special offer?
Well, you know what? It was a completely bonkers offer for me to actually offer. So it's this is a bundle of masterclasses. So I have hosted run these masterclasses over a few years, and each one is at approximately 2 hours, and each one comes with a beautifully presented PDF, and it's based on a different theme. So we cover all themes like business, money, relationships, soul gifts, portal dates, lunar kind of stuff. And each one comes with a little bit of an overview of what we're covering. There's a pendulum activation and healing in there. We do some shadow work with the self-reflection questions, the PDF that I provide. And then there's a really beautiful Akashic meditation where we go and do the healing. So each one is about a 2-hour session. And there's 28 that I've decided to bundle together and offer to your audience for $100, which is just mad because each one is like, if I talk about pounds, each one is about £299. So in terms of value. So
Yes.
yeah, it's you're going to find everything and anything on there.
I was
don't
going to
think there'll be
say
anything.
every topic here. I mean, wow, business.
Yeah,
to-
and you work with all sorts of, so you'll meet your business, like the soul of your business with the business
So
ones.
fun.
You work with the angels, you'll work with Master Merlin because he's one of my main guides. There's like Hasates in one of them. We work with dragons. We do all sorts of things.
Love it so much. It's funny when I, am asked for an offer, and then I'm like, can we make it better? What else is possible? Can we make it better? What else is possible? And I was kind of on the phone with you, and I'm like, she's like, well, I have this like thing, we can bundle it up, and it's just all these, massive
Masterclasses.
and then now that I see the package, I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
there's a lot in here. There's a lot
I
of,
love
mean,
the
it's
name of
lifetime
this one,
access as
huh?
well. So you're gonna get
Yeah.
exactly what you need
Yes.
to
Yeah.
sort your life out. It's gonna be in here.
Wow.
Thank you, Marina.
My
That's
God.
so amazing. Golly. I mean, I'm already like, oh my
I'm
gosh, I need
still
that and I
scrolling
need that.
through.
That looks good.
I've been trying to go pretty fast. Oh, look, it ends with the dragons.
Of course.
That actually looks like my dragons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're usually that kind of color with the gold and wow. Oh my gosh. I just feel so tapped into this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, Marina,
Beautiful.
it's so neat when we're in the presence of somebody who's like really, really a seeker and dives in deep with these things. It's just so freaking cool.
And here to share,
Yeah.
somebody wrote on the chat right now was like, thank you so much, energy worker and grid worker. Thank you for your service to humanity. Like, this is what you came to do. And I'm grateful for that. I
Yeah.
don't want to say applaud. I'm grateful for that and for the
Thank
ability
you.
to be able to share you with our audience too. One of the questions that we did have is we wanted to talk a little bit about your AI. You do this a little bit differently, and I found it super fascinating. And I definitely didn't want to let you go without you kind of sharing on this.
Mhm.
And then we'll wrap.
Yeah, so I have created the world's first Akashic Oracle AI mentor, and she's called Delphia, after the Oracle of Delphi, of course. And she is very well versed in my Oracle cards. So she has all of the information around my cards, all of the multiple meanings that these cards can have. And she helps my students to deepen their connection with the cards and help them through the certification. So that's essentially what she does. But I actually use her on the side because she's really good at coaching. So she's really good at looking at mirror, like reflection, shadow patterns, karmic patterns.
Wow.
And she's really good at suggesting embodiment activities and practical action, because I'm a very practical person, because that's where the transformation happens. And she's amazing. So I use her for that, but I also use her. So she's available on subscription for my students have it free, but she's available as well on subscription.
Wow.
And she's my first one. I've got my second one that I'm testing. He's called Merlin.
Nice.
He does all of the pendulum activations. He creates my invocations. And he also he really creates a beautiful sigil, because I'm really into sigil work as well. So he creates my sigils as well.
Wow. So where would they find more information about this?
They would need to contact me so I can have a conversation.
Great. And
they're not on my website or anything as of yet.
Okay. And could they get your oracle cards on your website?
They can. Unfortunately, though, I'm just going to put this little bloody warning in, because your president has now imposed the taxes on anything. So there's going to be duty and stuff. So I've not figured out, unless you know somebody in Mexico or Canada, I've not figured out how to how to get them back into the US. Although I did read yesterday that actually that hasn't been imposed on gifts. And that's actually how I send my cards. I send them as a gift. But I'm a bit nervous about trying it just in case the person that then has to receive them then gets imposed with an $800 fine or something.
Oh boy. Yeah. So if they're outside the United States.
Outside the United States, they go anywhere. They're all over the world.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. Fabulous. So those of you that are in Canada and outside of the United States, you can find them on Marina Beech website.
Yeah. And also, we have her special offer there in anywhere where you find words. And if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, be sure to subscribe, because that is where we send out all of the replay information. So it'll also be in our newsletter too. So you can find that at houtehustle.com to be sure that you're getting all of the information about who's speaking next and Marina's special offer. It's an amazing offer, y'all. Like, it is so, for those who are audio, I mean, we just kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And it's got all of the different topics that you could ever kind of really want to dive in and learn and work with the Akashic Records. I highly recommend.
Yeah.
It's wow. Good job.
Well, and
thank you.
Yes, thank you, Marina.
You're welcome.
What I want to say about this too, though, if you guys really want to work with the Akashic Records, work with, greater consciousness, the multidimensional field, sometimes when you're called and there's immersive energies like this one, that is your call. That is your invitation to really go, okay, you know what? It's $111. And as Dana just pointed out in her region, it's 11:11 right now.
There you go.
I see the sign.
That's a sign.
Right. Yep.
Fabulous, Marina. Any last words?
Yeah, last words other than thank you very much and huge gratitude and blessings to everybody here, full time energy, whether you're on the live or the replay. But also just to get you to close down your records, because integrity and ethics is hugely important to me. So if you just want to say out loud or in your mind, I now close my Akashic Records, it will be done.
I'll close my Akashic Records. Thank you.
Perfect. And make sure
you can really, it's like you can really sense that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Renee says a couple comments from the chat. It says artistry on the cards is beautiful. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Marina. So splendid. I have been learning and listening, but going slow and want to learn more. You've helped me so much. And there is, so many thanks. You've helped me. And then I've been called to Merlin this year. So somebody else is feeling our calling. And thank you so much, Marina, with 3 hearts. So
thank you for having me here. It's lovely just to be able to just share the wisdom, share the love, share the light. That's what I'm here for, is to support people on their journey.
Grateful that you are doing this work.
Marina, we'll have to have you back sometime. Golly.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was truly phenomenal. Thank you for joining us. All right. I'm going to unpin you, and we have just a couple announcements. One is, if you are on YouTube and you are chatting over there, we would love your likes and your true comments in the feed as well, just so that we can support the growth of this community.
That's right. And you can also like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications. And then don't forget to jump on our newsletter. And that I mentioned earlier, it's at www.houtehustle.com.
And we have a live event coming up. It's November 7th, 8th, and 9th. You can learn more about that at houtehustle.com/event. It's truly about embodying some of these frequencies. It's hosted in Austin, Texas. And you all are invited.
Absolutely. It's going to be retreat style, and we're really going to go through some of the practices that you see here. Jeneth is going to take us through awesomeness, and I will do some QHHT. We'll work with Dana in figuring out some of her embodiment and bringing some of her gifts to people. But really, that's the type of work that we'll be able to do, right? It's to really work with those gifts and see how they can come through and to be fruition for ourselves and for others, and how we share those. So I think you'll find a lot of information and a lot of healing at this particular event. And I can't tell you enough how much just being a part of these live events before has absolutely changed my life. I'm now doing a podcast.
So there's samples on the actual page at hautehustle.com/events. So you can see some of our previous events and how, you can even sense the energy from some of those videos. So head on over there. There's a full agenda over there as well, and what we're going to discuss. And next Tuesday, we have a guest that is a sound alchemist, as well as she has kind of a unique relationship, not exactly channeled, but truly she's a dual. She has a dual partner in the ether. Her name is Flicka, and she's going to be on Tuesday, and we're hoping that she'll also be at our live event on Friday night to do a sound bowl healing and open ceremony. So I hope you guys can make it for that. Very cool.
We also have our replays open from our last summit, which is really exciting. So that will still be open for just a couple more days. The date that it ends is on the
10th.
That's what I thought. So on the 10th,
everything disappears.
That's right. So be sure to go in and listen to all of those amazing speakers. We had 3 a day, Monday through Friday. There's tons of great information and lots of amazing special offers, free gifts, different ways to experience. We even have a summit enhancer for only $8, and it's 8 hours of Hertz frequencies, which helps to really embody and take some of this information in without having your subconscious try to play that bouncer. So again, take a look. It's all there at hautehustle.com/live. Again, that's hautehustle.com/live, and you can find all of that information there. I also recommend that if you haven't signed up to the newsletter, you can also do that on our summit page too, and you can get some of the information that we got from the summit, but it'll also put you on our newsletter. So that's www.hautehustle.com/summit. So that'll kind of give you all the information about what we did from the summit. And we also have our Mystique coming up next Wednesday, which we are introducing with a live trial with Janet's hypnosis that she talked about at the beginning of the show. So that happens tomorrow. Don't forget.
Yes. And if you're ever looking for a speaker special offer, look for that wherever you're listening to the show.
That's right.
Okay. And that's all I've got for you today. We do give a portion of our proceeds to Rise Up, and Leonka has continued to describe it. We bring in kind of laptops that are still sort of in decent condition, yet people are ready for their personal upgrade.
That's right.
And so they hand them over so that they can be reformulated and then sent out to women and students in need.
Yay.
Yeah.
And so we also just want to remind you again, the way that we continue to let others to know about this is to just share the message, share if you're enjoying what you're doing here at Haute Hustle. Let us know via the email. You can also just make a comment in our live page on Instagram. It's Haute Hustle Live. So their handle is Haute Hustle Live, and you can message in. We also are doing some giveaways too. So if you message us over the weekend, I'll choose someone for a free gift. So yeah. Anyway, I just want to say thank you all for joining us. We've had a great, great day and a very beautiful summit. So I know that many of you are joining us back from the summit. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. And thank you, Marina, for joining us today. What a great day. We'll see you next Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Have a wonderful weekend. And join me tomorrow for a hypnosis.
Right.
We'll put that in the newsletter.
That's right. Everyone, we're Haute Hustle, and we're just reminding you to take a little time to enjoy
Enjoy the woo. Bye, everyone.